So, welcome to welcome to Kerbal Space Program 2. I've been very addicted to this game at the minute. And I thought I'd record a little video on it. I thought we could start our own little space company, the T-Reality Space Agency. For those of you that don't know, this game is a game where you build spaceships or planes and things like that in an effort to get to space and explore new worlds and learn about the world around us. Or at least that would be the point of the game, unless you're me and you're completely inept at everything you do. So we're going to attempt to build some spaceships and go to space, but I cannot promise you that we will not lose some Kerbals along the way. First thing we're going to do, we're going to make a small ship. We have a one-man ship, well, a one-man capsule called the Tin Can. Can hold one person, very light, very small, good place to start for our first ship. So we're going to add one little fuel. This is methalox, which is is it monopropellant? That's monopropellant. Yeah, no, it's methalox. So methalox is the main fuel we're going to be using for a lot of this stuff. I don't want to go too much into the other fuel types and things at the minute because it confuses me. So we have our starter thing there. The most basic thing you would do is slap a little rocket on the bottom of that. And now we could add a nose cone on top of this, but I think the better route is a parachute so that we may land. Now if we're going to be landing using a parachute, we could probably do with some kind of landing gear, which we also have. Lovely jubbly. So this is the smallest landing gear. I can extend it for you here. That's far too small. Okay, so we live and we learn. Go across there. Try the small ones out. Try the small fellas. So these still don't extend long enough. Maybe this engine is too much power. Maybe we should go for something a little bit less big, because that's quite a big engine. We could even go for a little engine like that. This is still methalox, yeah. So that means we could then use the smaller landing gear, right? That should then. Oh, I've torn it off. Oops. There's a leg there. Don't want that. Yeah. So now that will land on those little leggy boys. So this is possibly the most basic form of ship we can create. We can see down here the thrust rate ratio is 0.7. Now we need this above 1, otherwise it won't take off like it says up there. So the engine isn't powerful enough. That's more of a space engine, which if we read on here, it will probably say perfect for transporting smaller late stages of a rocket through space. So if I'd read that, I would have known. So we could add. I don't want to add anything massive. Is my problem. About that. See, that's incredibly powerful. It's reasonably efficient and has a decent amount of thrust. So, you know what? We'll try this one. I think that's a cool little engine. It's not a flat engine, I should say. So we probably want the legs extended just for when we take off. So now we have 3.6 thrust to weight ratio, which is incredibly high. But I think our first ship is ready for a launch. So this is where we find out. Here we are on the launch pad. Beautiful ship. This game is just really satisfying, really just fun. The tip of the engine is about 3mm off the ground, so that's cool. So we go back here, we can see Bill up here in the corner, Bill Kerman. He is our test pilot for today. And so we're going to start our countdown. Here goes our first ship. Here it goes. Oh my god, that's got some speed. Jesus, okay, so we're gonna Gonna get rid of those wheels. There we go. So, as you can see, we are going at 400 meters a second, directly in the air. Our fuel is going down relatively slowly, all things considered. That has got some serious speed behind it. Ooh. Okay. So, we're going to cut the engine there just before we run out of fuel. So, we have made it to about 900 meters, to 22,000, 23,000. We're still going up. Still going up. We have just boarded space. We have launched the ship. Now there's one thing that happens to all things that go up. They must come down. And that's probably the hardest part for me. So what we're going to do, we got down here, you can see we have time warp. So I'm going to just speed up time a little bit just so we can make our way down. We're still going up at the minute. Our parachute cannot deploy unless it's below 10,000 meters as far as I know. And below a certain speed, which we are definitely not hitting. So if we just full speed it, and there goes the fuel. Okay. So we have half deployed the chute, and the ship is flipping. This is going well. Come on, parachute, where are you? Okay, we're going at an angle, and I can't turn it. So, but it's slowing us down. Oh, there's the chute. Chute has come out. Let's just hope we can go slow enough to fully deploy it before we hit the ground. Okay, so the sideways maneuver has gone well. I didn't do that on purpose, but I'm going to pretend like I did. Fully deployed. As we slowly but surely make our way down. Just speed up time a little bit there. We could do with opening those. Get our landing gear out. And we're not going to land as far into the ocean as I thought we would, so that's always a bonus as well. You see, we're going 8 meters a second. I'm very, very happy that this actually landed. We have done it. We've landed. And Mr. Bill Kerman himself is happy as ever. He is a happy little fella. So, now we can recover our vessel, which means that is a completed mission. And as you can see here, we were up for 7 minutes. We went at an altitude of 71,000 meters. Our max speed overall was 1,000 meters a second. Yeah, he experienced 7 Gs, which some of my Kerbals have felt more than that. Now, we can add this, a decoupler. And we can add another stage to this rocket. And this is where problems start for me, because I'm bad at smart things. So, we can now add that bigger engine we had earlier onto the bottom of that. So now this engine will fire, it will then break off and decouple there, and that will launch. Now we need to separate these, so that the chute and engine fire separately. There we go. Oh my god, it went straight away, there was no countdown. Jesus. This is a very powerful rocket. They were right. Okay, look, and it already used all of the fuel. That's how much more powerful that engine is. Okay, so now we have no fuel, so we can separate. And the second engine has began. I think. Has it? Now it's began. Now our second engine has activated. So as you can see, we are back in space. But we are already passing the atmosphere before we've even run out of our fuel. So now we can go that little bit further than we could previously go. Now, for all you flat earthers out there, this is what the Earth actually looks like. Go back to school. Appreciate it. Bill's gone on 2 different rocket launches in 1 day, and I'm proud of him. Okay, we're coming back down. We are coming back down, boys. Bit more speed on that. Okay, maybe not that much speed. Okay. So, once again, we are falling back down to Earth. This time with no fuel to save us. So I'm going to try the technique that the game forced us into last time, which was a slight curve. We're going straight down this time, though. Just hoping a bit of air resistance. That's the opposite of a bit of air resistance. That's a direct nosedive. That's a problem. Why not activate the chute? Yeah, we're dead. Sorry, Bill. Sorry, mate. Slight malfunction with that one. Okay, so that is 1.8, so that's more than enough to lift off with, and it's not going to burn all our fuel instantly. So that's one thing sorted. I think now we should add the fins to the bottom of the ship. I think that may change a couple of things. And the only other thing I can think of is this special little fella, wherever it is. There it is, RCS. By definition, steadies your craft, basically. It's small, tiny little engines that will help you do manoeuvres and such. So we're just going to start off with 3. We're going to do 3 on the bottom, 3 on the top, just to see what effect that has on the ship. So you still have enough thrust to weight and all that stuff. So with just those small changes, let's see how far we can launch now. And there we go. Now you can see the fuel is not burning as fast this time, which is what we wanted. So Bill, resurrected from the dead, is back on another space mission. So there goes that engine. Now, separate that one. So let's see how far we've gone. Pretty far. Now, my question is, if we start this engine and we get a bit more up. Yep, I think that'll do. Now this that I'm going to show you now is called a maneuver plan. So you can see where our line is, right? This orange line represents the maneuver that we are creating. So you use these things to move where you're going. So if I thrust in this direction, so we will run out of fuel there. So we don't have enough fuel for an orbit. If I cancel that and full speed the engine again, and we go a bit higher, hopefully the further away from Earth's gravity, we can now go further. So, what we're going to do is speed up to get to close to the maneuver node. We're going to press this button down here that is changes the SAS to maneuver mode, which will allow it to point in the direction. You'll see it's turning, pointing in the direction that we need to go. Launch. Now, as you can see, blue line is moving across, and it should end up where the orange line currently is. Okay, so we know, I'm not going to go all the way over there because we know that we're going to run out of fuel. And last time we ran out of fuel, we died. So, we're going to let our ship go around the Earth in its beauty. And we will attempt to land it. And I will show you why those maneuver nodes are very useful when we build a slightly bigger rocket that we can put into an orbit, which is the goal for this video specifically. That we get one object into orbit of the Earth. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Now, we're going to die again. We're going to... Yeah, we're definitely dead. Most definitely going to die. Because we cannot turn against the sheer force of this thing. And I don't think the parachute's going to extend in time. I mean, it looks like it would be a gentle landing. Ooh, yeah, you hit some G's there, Bill. But we're actually going to land it. He did hit some G's, I'll be honest. He hit some serious G-force in that last chute opening. That is not how NASA would want me to do it. But we have landed. So, Kerbal low orbit, that's what we need. So we need 3,400 delta V of fuel. We currently have 5,800. So, we should be okay to get into orbit. Supposedly. I'm not a very good pilot, and this is where the problems come in. And here we go, boys. We're going to turn on the RCS in hopes that it will keep us stable in the air. Fuel is going down relatively quickly, but we're also going up very fast. And we only need this first section of fuel to get us out of the atmosphere. The other half of the fuel should be enough to get us into orbit. Now, if I wanted to be really pedantic, I could angle the ship slightly. So, we'll try it. Just slowly begin angling the ship towards the ocean here. And that should get us into a nice angle for an orbit, that is. But it could also cause our ship to flip. So we got to be very careful. So, oh. Right, so there goes that engine. Gone. So how high have we got? Ooh, very. God damn. Okay, so we can now jettison that. We are going to do a maneuver mode like I showed you before, and we're just going to add thrust in that direction. Now this is not going to be a good orbit, right? This, not a good orbit. But we can fix that once we're already in the orbit, you see. So, I'm going to go into maneuver mode once again. The ship will aim in the direction of the maneuver. Perfect. We're then going to skip time to get closer to the maneuver. There we go, it's 30 seconds until we maneuver ourselves. Now we have a full ship of fuel to do this, so we should be fine. It's going to be a very wide orbit, but it's an orbit that we can all be proud of, I think. And it's not a straight orbit, so if we were going to the moon, we would struggle. But we're not doing that for a while yet, okay? So, okay, as you can see, it's getting a bit faster the further into an orbit we get. And boom. We have an orbit. Now, let me just show you something. This side of the orbit here, in the is it the periapsis? Periapsis? Something like that. This area here, periapsis. I was right. So it's 17,000 meters up into the atmosphere of Earth. That is too close. That means we will start being pulled back into Earth. So, if we go over to where the apoapsis is and create another maneuver. Now you don't have to use these maneuvers. You can do it manually if you like pain. We're going to add just some speed. Just going to add some speed. And as you can see, the periapsis is now expanding. So, just keep doing that until we see them begin to sort of flip. Yeah, you see it just moved a moment there. So that's how we know we're at a relatively even orbit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. And 3, 2, 1. Engine has been cut off. Now, the camera got a bit messy there, so you may not have seen what happened, but we moved into orbital camera, which means we're a little bit off, but we have an orbit around Kerbin. Now we can observe our ship here, and we can do a nice little speed up time, and we can watch the Earth go by as Bill Kerman spends his first few days aboard a ship in orbit. I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see future videos. The forest series and stuff like that is still up if anyone is interested in that. Go ahead and watch that. There's a ton of videos to go and look back on. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.